Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Nandito naman tayo sa isang makabuluhang talakayan tungkol sa matematika. Ang ating subject ngayon ay sa grade 11, Statistics and Probability. So, ang ating topic ngayon ay tungkol sa sampling distribution of the sample mean. At pinag-uusapan dito ang standard deviation, ang variance at ang sample mean at saka ang population mean. Kaya kung bago ka pa lang sa channel ko, huwag mong kalimutan i-click ang subscribe at i-click mo na rin ang notification bell upang palagi kang updated sa mga susunod kong mga video. Tara na, pag-usapan na natin.
Okay, magandang araw sa ating lahat. So, ang ating tatalakayan ngayon ay ang subject na mathematics sa grade 11. And that is statistics and probability. Nandito na tayo ngayon sa quarter 3 at module 5. Ang topic ay tungkol sa sampling distribution of the sample mean. At ang lesson 1 nito ay tungkol sa mean and variance. Okay, simulan na natin. So, statisticians are interested to know how the means of the sample of this same size taken from the same population vary about the population mean, not just on simply describing the variation of the individual data values about the mean of the population. So, ibig sabihin, kinukuha ang population mean at ang sample mean at ikinukumpara ito kung tugma talaga. So, example, consider a population consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Suppose the sample size of 2 are drawn from this population. What is the mean and the variance of the sampling distribution of the mean? So, mayroon tayong population that is scores that consists of 5. And then you will only just get a sample size of 2. So, paano natin kukunin ang mean at ang variance? Okay, so we have here the steps in getting that one. So step number 1, compute the mean of the population. So simple lang naman ang pagkuha ng mean ng ating population. So ang ating population we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. So the formula for the population mean is summation of x over n. What do you mean by summation? So, itong E, mukhang E na baliktad, ang basa nito ay summation. Okay? And then, X, nagre-representa ito sa lahat ng score in a population. So isasama natin lahat to itong number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, at number 5. Ano naman tong N? N kung ilan lahat sa isang population. That is 5, di ba? 5, may 5 scores. Okay, so i-compute na natin ang population mean. So that is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 10 plus 5, that is 15. 15 divided by 5, that is equal to 3. And that is our population mean. Our population mean is 3. Okay, so itong population mean ay magagamit natin ito sa pagkuha ng ating sampling distribution of the sample mean. Okay, step number 2. Compute the variance of the population. So ito ang simbolo ng ating variance. So parang Q na baliktad at may square sa itaas. Okay. So first column, X, or that is the score, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ito yun. Itong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, for X minus the population mean, uli, ano ang ating population mean? Ang ating population mean is 3. So that's why score minus the population mean is equal to, ito na, just like this one. If X is equal to 1, our X minus the population mean is negative 2. Paano nangyari yan? Ito. That is 1 minus 3. The answer is negative 2. Okay. Sa susunod, 2 minus 3, that is equal to negative 1. Okay, tama. So 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. And then 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Next, we have 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Okay. So, ito na ngayon. Ngayon, dito na tayo sa ating third column. That is x, or the score, minus the population mean quantity squared. So, paano nangyaring naging 4 ito? That is negative 2 squared, or that is negative 2 times negative 2. The answer is 4. Next, negative 1 squared, or negative 1 times negative 1 is equal to 1. Next, 0 squared, or 0 times 0 is 0. And then 1 squared, or 1 times 1 is 1. And then 2 squared, or 2 times 2, that is equal to 4. Okay. So, dahil ang formula ng ating variance of the population is summation of x minus the population mean quantity squared over n. So, we need to get the summation of x minus the mean quantity squared. So, that is 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 0 is 5 plus 1 is 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. So, kaya ngayon, ito ang value dito ay equal to 10. Ang n is the number of population which is 5. 5 lahat ang ating scores. So, that is 10 over 5 is equal to 2. So, that is our variance of the population mean. 2 ang ating variance of the population mean. So, kung hindi nyo na nakuha ang paliwanag ko, so just balik nyo na lang. Just replay sa aking talakayan. Okay. Ngayon, our variance of the population is equal to 2. So, step number 3. Determine the number of possible sample of size n is equal to 2. Or size, or sample size na 2. So, we have here our formula. Combination of n, taken n, that is equal to combination of 5, taken 2, that is equal to 10. So, this is based on our formula. Tama kaya ang ating formula. So, there are 10 possible sample of size 2 that can be drawn. So, 10 possible samples. So, step number 4, list all possible sample and their corresponding mean. Okay, so dito naman tayo sa step number 4. Nandito na yon. Step number 4, ito ang table. So, our samples are 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 4, 5. Okay. So, saan galing to? So, it is combination of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, you have combination of 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Diba? Next is 2, 3. So, hindi na pwede yung 2, 1 because may 1, 2 na. May 1, 2 na eh. Hindi na pwede ang 2, 1. So, kaya ito na yung 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. And then next is 3, 4, 3, 5. Next is 4, 5. So, ito yon. Dito. Diba? 4, 5. Okay. So, there are how many samples? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, there are 10 samples. Okay, let us get the mean in each samples. Okay, that is how to get the mean. So, you just add the two scores. Okay, 1 plus 2 is 3 divided by 2 because dalawa sila is equal to 1.5. Then 1 plus 3 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. Next is 1 plus 4 is 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Then 1 plus 5 is equal to 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. Then 2 plus 3 is 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. The same this one. 2 plus 4 is 6 divided by 2 is 3. 2 plus 5 is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. 3 plus 4 is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. And 3 plus 5 is 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then 4 plus 5 is equal to 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So, these are all the means of the samples. Now, step number 5. Okay, our step number 5 is construct the sampling distribution of the sample means and compute the mean of the sampling distribution of the sample mean. So, ito yung simbolo niya. So, para siyang U, and then may subscript na X na may guhit sa itaas. Okay? So, we have here our table for step number 5. Sample means. So, the sample means are, ito yon 1.5, we have 2, we have 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. Okay. Now, di ba 1.5? So, ito, sinulat dito 1.5. Then, 2, ito 2, then 2.5 here. Now, sa second column, we have here the frequency. So, ano tong frequency? So, kung ilan ang 1.5 dito sa ating step number 4 na table. So, ilan bang 1.5 nakita natin? Ilang mean? So, only 1. Ito lang. Nasa itaas. Nasa una. So, therefore, your frequency is equal to 1. How about sa 2? Mean na 2. Isa lang din. Okay, wala nang iba, di ba? Okay, for 2.5, ilan ang nasa table? Isa, ito isa, dalawa. So, dalawa lang. So, that's why, dalawa ang 2 ang ating ilalagay na frequency. And then, for 3, ilan bang 3 nandito? So, 3, 1, 2. So, dalawa lang din. So, that is, the frequency is 2. For 3.5, ilan bang 3.5? So, isa, dalawa lang din. So, that's why, that is, the frequency is 2. Then for 4, isa lang. So, the frequency is 1. For 4.5, the frequency is 1 dahil isa lang din dito. Okay. So, let's go to column 3. So, now the probability of our X. So, the probability of the sample. So, the probability is 1 over 10 for this one. Bakit 1 over 10 for 1.5 na sample mean? Dahil may 10 means pagkatapos isa lang ang 1.5. So that's why 1 over 10. So 10 lahat ito, di ba? Okay. That's why 1 over 10. And then for 2, also 1 over 10. And then for 2.5, that is 2 over 10. Dahil dalawa ang frequency niya. Dalawang beses siya lumabas. So, 2 over 10 or ating i-reduce. That is 1 over 5. For 3 na sample mean is also 2 over 10 or 1.5. And for 3.5 na sample mean is 2 over 10 or 1.5 kung ating i-reduce. Now, for 4, that is 1 over 10. For 4.5, also 1 over 10. So, now, paano kinukuha yung itong X or the sample mean times the probability of the sample mean. So, paano kinuha itong 0.15? Okay, 0.15. So, ate lang kukunin ang product nitong ating sample mean at saka itong ating probability of the sample mean. That is 1.5 times 1 over 10. That is equal to 0.15. Okay, so subukan natin. Calculator. Okay, teka muna. So, calculator. Ilabas ang calculator. That is, ano yun? That is 1.5 times 1 over 10. So, unahin natin is pag sinabing 1 over 10, that is 1 divided by 10. Diba? That is 0.1 times 1.5. That is equal to, okay, balik tayo. That is 1 divided by 10 is equal to 0.1 times 1.5. So, the answer is 0.15. So, yan. Okay, 1.15. Now, dito sa 0.20, that is, unahin muna natin to. 1 divided by 10 is equal to 0.5 times 2 is equal to 0.2 or 0.20. Diba? Tama? Now, okay, dito tayo sa ikatlo. Itong 0.5, paano ito ginuha? So, that is 2 over 10 or 1/5 times 2.5. So, isolve natin. 1 divided by 5 equals 0.2 times 2.5. Okay, ulit. 1 divided by 5, that is equal to 0.2 times 2.5. That is equal to 0.5 or 0.50. Okay. So, ipapalo nyo na ngayon lahat yon. So, ito na ngayon. So, we have for 3 times 1/5 is 0.6. 0.6. And then for 3.5 times 1/5, that is 0.7. And for 4 times 1 over 10 is 0.4. And for 4.5 times 1 over 10 is 0.43. Okay? So, ngayon, our sum or our mean of the sampling distribution of the sample mean is, we have here the formula. Ito na ngayon ang ating formula. That is, summation of x or the sample means times the probability of the sample means. That is equal to, ito. Paano to nakuha ang 3? So, ang 3 ay nakuha natin sa pamagitan ng add natin or ito. I-add natin lahat to. So, we have 0.15, 0.20, 0.50, 0.60, 0.70, 0.40, 0.45. That is equal to 3. Okay. Calculator natin. Okay, calculator ulit. Calculator. Okay. So, we have 0.15 plus 0.20 ulit 0.15 plus 0.20 plus 0.50 plus 0.60 plus 0.70 plus 0.40 plus 0.45 equals, okay, so ang lumabas ay 3. Yan, 3. So, the mean of the sampling distribution of the sample mean is equal to 3. So, 3. Ito. So, step number 6. Compute the variance of the sampling distribution of the mean. So, ito yung simbolo ng variance of the sampling distribution of the sample mean. Okay, so paano yun kukunin? So, we have here our means of the sample. Means of the sample, we have 1.5. So, dito yun kinuha. 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. So, just continue this table. So, i-continue lang natin to. Okay. So, ito ngayon. And then, ang P of X niya, we have here the P of X is 1 over 10. For 1.5 is 1 over 10. So, nandito yun, 1 over 10. And then, for 2, that is 1 over 10. For 2.5 is 2 over 10. For 2.5 is 2 over 10. For 3 is 2 over 10. For 3.5 is 2 over 10. For 4 is 1 over 10. For 4.5 is 1 over 10. So, nandito yon. Ito. Dito. Okay. And then, for this one, that is the sample mean minus the population mean. Paano ito naging negative 1.5? Okay, negative 1.5. Paano? So, that is 1.5 minus 3. Ito, sample mean is 3. So, our sample mean is 3. Diba? Ito yun. 3 ang ating sample mean. So, that is 1.5 minus 3 is equal to negative 1.5. Then, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. 2.5 minus 3 is 0.5. 3 minus 3 is 0. 3.5 minus 3 is 0.5. And 4 minus 3 is 1. And 4.5 minus 3 is 1.5. So, ang ating isubtract ang ating sampling distribution of the sample mean, which is 3. Okay, ngayon, dito sa sample mean minus the sampling distribution of the mean quantity squared, bakit naging 2.25? That is negative 1.5 squared, or negative 1.5 times negative 1.5 is equal to positive 2.25. So, and then negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Then 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25, or 0, and then 0 times 0 is 0. 0.5 squared, or 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. And then 1 times 1 is 1. And for 1.5 squared, or 1.5 times 1.5 is 2.25. Now, dito na tayo ngayon sa ating column 5. That is P of X times X minus the mean quantity squared. Okay. Paano? That is 1 over 10 times 2.25. So, again, 1 over 10 times 2.25. So, calculator. Okay, calculator. That is, diba? Sabihin natin, 1.1 over 10 times 2.25. That is 1 divided by 10 equals times. So, times 2.25. The answer is 2, 0.225. 0.225. So, ito yon. Next, that is for this one. Dito. So, again, 1 divided by 10 is equal to 0.1 times 1. The answer is 0.1 times 1. The answer is 0.1 or 0.100. Pareho lang yon. And then for here, this 2 over 10 times 2, 0.25. Okay. So that is 2 divided by 10 equals 0.2 times 0.25. 0.25. The answer is 0.05. And then, i-follow nyo lang yung kung ano yung nauna. So, that is for 2 over 10 times 0 is 0. And for 2 over 10 times 0.25, that is equal to 0.05. And for 1 over 10 times 1, that is equal to 0.100. And for 1 over 10 times 2.25 is 0.225 ngayon. So, ano na ngayon ang ating variance of the sampling distribution of the mean? So, ito yung formula. That is, the variance of the sampling distribution of the sample mean is summation of P of X times X minus the mean quantity squared. So, paano yung kinuha yung 0.75? So, paano kinuha yung 0.75? So, that is, i-add nyo lahat ito. Ito. 0.25, 0.225, 0.100, 0.050, 0.050, 0.100, and 0.225. So, let's have a calculator. Again, calculator. Okay, labas ang calculator. So, we have here, our first is ito. First is 0.15. So, that is 0.15 plus 0.20 plus 0.50 plus hindi pala ito yon. Dito para sa ibaba. Sorry. Cancel. Ito pala yon. 0.225 plus 0.100 plus 0.050 plus 0 plus 0.050 plus 0.100 plus 0.225 equals, so ang sagot is 0.75. Okay, so ito na ngayon ang ating variance of the sampling distribution of the sample mean, which is 0.75. Now, let us compare the means and the variance of the standard deviation of the population mean of the sampling distribution of the sample mean. So, our compute the result for our population mean, that is n is equal to 5. So, our population mean is equal to 3. The same with our mean of the sampling distribution of the mean. And then for the variance of our population, that is equal to 2, is different with the variance of the sampling distribution of the sample mean, which is 0.75. So, magkaiba sila. And then, for the standard deviation of the population mean, which is 1.41, and for the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of the mean is 0.87. Okay, so magkaiba sila. As you notice, mas malaki ang sa ating population mean. So, yun lang. Yun lang ang pagkuha ng ating population mean, population variance, population standard deviation, at saka yung mean of the sampling distribution of the mean, and the variance of the sampling distribution of the mean, and also the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of the mean. Okay, kung meron kayong katanungan, i-comment nyo lang sa, or type nyo lang, itanong nyo lang sa ating comment section sa ibaba. Yan lang po. Maraming salamat.